There we are.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
All right, and we are live.
Righto. This is one of those interesting situations where the audience gets to
See us working, yes.
see us getting ready for the show.
Yeah. It's always something with us here at Steer the Line.
I got a bunch of tickets that I've got out this weekend. Tickets.
So I wonder how many fantasy football players are picking up that Cleveland Browns kicker.
Yeah. Oof.
Who?
The kicker for the Cleveland Browns, a field goal kicker?
Yeah.
Why would a field goal kicker matter in fantasy football?
I don't know. I don't play it, but I would imagine. I mean, he hits like 4 field goals in the game, two ATs. I mean, a guy can kick from 65 yards out.
The Colts cut their kicker.
They're playing without one, or they brought one in?
They cut theirs. I don't know if they're playing without it or not.
I would assume they brought in somebody else before they cut the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute, guys.
Where's that Rocky character?
He's coming.
All right, you're running the show, Christian.
Got it.
$30 seconds.
There he is.
All right, guys, here we go.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
What's happening, football fans? It is time to steer the line.
Touchdown!
With your host, Loud Esmond and Jeremy James. For the best takes in NFL and football betting, fantasy football, and the latest news, get ready to steer the line.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Steer the Line. Unfortunately, Jeremy isn't able to join us, so I'm here hosting today. My name is Christian Giordani. You know me. My father right next to me, Rocky Giordani, the actor that we all know, and Mr. Loud Esmond himself, the sports prognosticator. How are you doing today, Loud?
Doing well. Hey, did you get the segment that I did from Snoqualmie Casino earlier today?
Downloading as we speak.
Okay, so you did receive that. Yeah, I'm Snoqualmie Casino and Sportsbook isn't the closest sportsbook to me. There are a couple that are closer, but I just like it. It's a classy atmosphere, nice place. They let me do my videos from there, and just in general, a really classy spot. Helpful people at the sportsbook, and I like being there and doing my sports betting. And I've got several tickets. Woo! A number of tickets that we'll go over at some point during the show tonight. But Christian, you've got some topics you wanted us to go over, so go for it, man. You're running the show tonight.
The biggest topic, obviously, week 1 happened. You know, it's the first week of football. We officially saw almost every team play this week. Isn't it fun just to be able to sit down and, watch a football game almost every hour
and
of Sunday?
there's real crowds. They're not having to pipe in crowd noise.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's full stadiums. And no, it's a good time. It's great.
It's a great time. And it's great for the winning teams, to be playing and have a fun weekend. But let's talk about the losing teams that happened, specifically the Raiders. I know you and Jeremy are big Raiders fans, and this is very fun for me to go into it. the biggest problem for the Raiders this past week was Derek Carr. Derek Carr just was not it this past week. He was 17 for 22, a 59% completion rate, but it was just everyone he threw 3 picks, and it was terrible. I even drew up some of the playbooks to speak out of what happened. He forced 7 passes to Davante Adams that had a catch probability under 16%. That is atrocious. I get
he trusts him.
He trusts them, yes, but they could not throw a pass in zone
Did Davante
defense.
Adams lead the entire NFL receivers in catching last week?
I believe it was either him or Justin Jefferson.
It was Davante Adams in terms of receptions.
Yes.
Justin
Davante
Jefferson
Adams
had
did
him a
go
little bit on
off.
yards.
It did go off, but that is also what killed them. Derek Carr
He hit
forcing it to Davante.
Darren Waller a handful of times. He hit the slot machine, Renfro, a handful of times. But look, you cannot excuse 4 total turnovers the quarterback was responsible for, because he also fumbled the game away. Now, here's the bright spot for the Raiders fans. We turned the ball over 5 times against the San Diego Chargers, and had a chance to win it at the end. How many teams do you know that can turn the ball over 5 times and still be in the game?
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cincinnati's one of
Not
those
many.
teams.
Right.
The
No,
only.
but back to Derek Carr's lackluster performance this past Sunday. It wasn't the best for him. He forced a lot of those passes to Davante Adams. 2 of them, one of them became an interception in the end zone. He had they were running a cover 2 defense, and they had 2 high safeties going up and following Davante, and they baited him to that throw. And honestly, he fell for it. He should be able to read the defense and look at all of his receivers. He didn't do that. On every interception he threw, he only looked to Davante Adams, and that was it.
And he's gonna learn from that with the coach this week, and the coaches are going to go over the game film with him, and they're going to show him exactly what he did wrong, and he'll benefit from that. Guy's a little amped first game. Also, he was under incredible pressure the whole game. I mean, he was just the offensive line for the Raiders did not hold up against San Diego.
Khalil Mack. I remember someone saying last week that Khalil Mack wasn't much.
We had
I remember-
Khalil Mack.
Okay, so we also have the Kansas City game to judge from. Mack and Bosa didn't do much in that game at all, because I think they were facing an offensive line that isn't made of paper mache, which the Raiders' offensive line, except for the tackle on the left, Colton Miller, is not very good. So I think it's as much bad offensive line play as anything that played into that. But no excuses. The Raiders lost. They're going to have to beat the Cardinals this week, because if they start 0-2, they may already be done in that division. Except for the fact that Justin Herbert, what's not happening?
They're not going to lose to the Cardinals.
No, I doubt it, but they're not exactly my favorite bet this week. Put it that way. I am not betting on the Raiders.
Right.
All right, so we beat up on the Raiders.
Yes.
So happy. All right, are
Yes.
you done? Were we good?
I'm happy
okay.
I got that out of the way.
Okay, so what's next? What do we got?
Another big disappointment this season for a lot of fans, especially in the betting wise. The Denver Broncos lost to the GOAT himself, Geno Smith. Geno Smith.
I know you had high hopes for Drew Lock
Yes, I did.
going into the season. He gagged it. They you could tell the Seahawks wanted him to emerge,
Yes.
and he just didn't. And so
Yeah.
that's there you go.
Yeah, but Geno Smith just went off this game completely.
13 for 13 in his first 13 passes. I was like,
Yeah.
who is this guy?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Geno Smith fan, but, I got to give the devil his dues. He did amazing against the Broncos, but the Broncos screwed themselves over. They had 17 penalties that game.
Oh, and they turned the ball over twice inside the 1 yard line.
Inside the 1 yard.
So
I was just
that-
about to get to that.
That's not going to happen again. I think we had some really fluky results in week 1 because of weird things that happened.
Week 1 shenanigans, Jeremy calls them.
Yeah, Cincinnati had that game won. Oh, I see Rocky's bodyguard
Yeah.
is in the house.
Rocky's bodyguard. He just walked by. My buddy was here. Didn't know we were doing a live TV show. He popped over.
That's fine. Anyway, please say hello to the mountain that just moved past you for me. Wow. All right. So where was I? Cincinnati lost in a really fluky way. The Chargers just survived against the Raiders in a strange sort of game. Denver losing to Seattle, that was a fluke. So there were some strange outcomes that I think people have to be really careful not to read too much into. But there's also a lot going on with teams that really disappointed. And I hear people saying, oh, they'll be fine. I'm not so sure on a couple of these. Christian, one of the things that you wanted us to talk about, if you don't mind going here already.
Go ahead.
Is who were sort of the most disappointing teams, right?
Yes.
Who are the teams that you think may be the biggest mistake problems? And I'm going to go last. I'll let you go first, Christian. Who were your two that you picked as teams that are underperforming and may be in trouble?
Well, only for week 1 right now. I am still going to say the Raiders because they were expected to win this game, even if the betting odds didn't say that. That was a home game for the Raiders.
Whoa. They were expected to win the game, even though the odds makers didn't say that.
Look.
Let's correct the record.
Let's correct that.
The Raiders were a dog in this game going to LA to play the Chargers. They were the dog.
Yeah.
They turned the ball over 5 times and had a chance to win the game. I think we may be burying the Raiders a bit prematurely.
All right. Anyway, a team besides the Raiders, I would say, is the Indianapolis Colts. You play arguably the worst team in football, the Houston Texans, and you end up in a tie. They were down, I believe, 3-21 by the third quarter. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that was about right.
Yeah, you have this offseason where you acquire a guy like Matt Ryan, arguably a top 15 quarterback of all time, in my opinion. A lot of people would disagree with that.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Still, you have a guy who is a winning quarterback. You have Jonathan Taylor. You have a very decent offense. And you're going against the worst team in football, and you end
How
in
many
a tie?
times did they run the ball in that game?
I can't remember, but not enough.
See, I didn't get to watch that game very closely. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they really committed to running the ball or whether they were asking Matt Ryan to throw the ball a lot. Because I think Go ahead,
They
Robbie.
look terrible, Lou. They look terrible to
Did
a
they
team
run the
they're not
ball?
supposed to look terrible against. They ran the ball. They threw the ball. They did everything wrong. It didn't matter what they tried, Lou. It wasn't working. They looked really bad against a really bad team. They're not supposed to do that. Then, of course, they come back. Matt Ryan gets on his game a little bit, and they come back, and they were way down, and they start. It looked like they're going to win the game, and then of course he poops
So
the bed again.
what this is in week 1, you have some strange outcomes, and
Really?
what week 2, 3, 4 is going to bear out is, were they fluky outcomes, or were these teams really that bad or that good? My two that I think had the crappiest opening week is the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. The 49ers lost to the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah.
I picked the Bears to win 3 games this season. They're that bad. They got nothing at the skills except for David Montgomery, the running back, and he's, top 20 running back maybe. And their offensive line sucks. They've got nothing at receiver. They've got not much at tight end. Their defense, they got Roquan Smith and they've got Robert Quinn. But other than that, I couldn't name another player on their defense. And the 49ers lose?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a game that I'm like, oh, well, Niners.
And a lot of people are going to blame the weather on that. They're going to blame for San Francisco.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. Well, it was a monsoon. Dwayne Haskins completed a lot more passes than Trey Lance
Yeah.
to
but
people
by
who
the
aren't
way,
very good.
Yeah, there you go. A couple of the Bears players didn't look that bad in that game, and I don't know if it's the Packers making them look good or the
49ers.
49ers.
Huh? Niners. Yeah, Niners made him look good. By the way, Trey Lance did everything you said he would, Lou. He stunk it up. He stayed.
Yeah,
he's not that
he
guy.
may be the biggest bust since that fat quarterback the Raiders drafted from LSU, Jamarcus Russell, who I learned purple drink from following him. Which Christian, you're laughing. You know what it is?
Yeah, I know what purple drink
Okay,
is.
so to explain it to people, this guy used to drink this crap.
Purple drink is basically liquidized. There's different ways to describe it, but it's a drug.
Kool-Aid
It's
mixed
cool.
with cough syrup.
Yeah, basically. It's lean. Lean. For those who don't know the term, it's
cough
lean.
syrup has been a favorite in the hood since I was in junior high, man.
Yeah.
He's a carrier.
Yeah,
he's
and
been able to buy.
This guy
buy cough syrup.
This guy
codeine
would
in
drink
the
a half
pharmacy.
gallon of it and then go crush the Golden Corral buffet. Is my
He
understanding.
used to be able to buy it over the counter.
Yeah.
Back when I was, cough syrup. Kept it in their back pocket. Everybody that was, doing that.
Are you
sip it all
drinking?
day.
No, I've
hell
had a
no.
cold. I've got a head cold.
Head cold.
Same
Yeah.
head cold I've had for 6
Yeah, head
years. NyQuil, the 13th freaking step. Anyway, Dennis Leary, no cure for cancer. I'm stealing the joke.
Don't know it.
Trey Lance looked terrible. By the way, what makes it worse is I watched a quarterback coach break down a bunch of his plays in the game, and he said he can't read defenses, he's missing open receivers, and even when they ask him to do something he should be comfortable with, hey, we're calling an RPO, hold the ball and run with it, he lacks confidence. So even when they're asking him to do something simple, he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. So yeah, it's a bad situation with Trey Lance in the 49ers. And the other one was, Aaron Rodgers will be fine without Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. Yeah. He made Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, he's not that good. Come on,
Right.
Aaron Rodgers is the best. Man, you could go and get 5 guys out of the stands and Aaron Rodgers would be great.
Did you see that pass that rookie dropped, though? Oh, my God, that was atrocious.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
That was bad.
Right in his hand. Yeah, he did hit one.
It happens.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah, people are going to drop passes. The best of us, it happens too. Good quarterbacks sometimes have a bad game, Derek Carr. But
You're not supposed to throw your teammates under the bus. That's what.
you are no, and that's the problem with Rodgers.
He spent the whole night blaming it on everybody.
On the bench, rolling his eyes, yelling at the position coaches.
And
I'm
I
so
believe
put
he
him
went
on.
on a podcast talking about it, didn't he?
Yes, he went on a podcast. And
He ran them all over.
Yeah. Beep, beep, beep. This is Aaron Rodgers backing the bus up. Beep, beep, beep. Back and forward over the receivers.
Yeah, he rolled them. He threw them under the bus, below it, man.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that, especially when you're a leader.
But then he said, but they're young. They're going to learn. We're going to coach them up. They're going to be fine. Gave
It's a
little-
backhanded. You can't
Give a
say
little
that stuff.
attaboy at the end, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Every time you smack the table, we can hear it.
Oh,
sorry, Rob.
That's what
I
it
thought
is. Yeah.
somebody was pounding
That's
on
me.
my wall.
I know. I thought it was me.
That's me.
It's Rocky.
That's why they call me the Vanilla Gorilla.
Stop it!
I'm always doing stuff like that.
Stop it! Hey, let me just get a clickable pen and start clicking it right near my microphone. That's not annoying.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Christian. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
All right. So the Bears come into play. So this is going to be a fascinating game. The Bears who overachieved playing a bad team in the 49ers. That was interesting.
Yeah.
The Bears who were playing a bad team coming in against the 49ers. They win, and Green Bay loses, scoring only a touchdown. Now the Bears go play the Packers, and the Bears are catching 10.5 points. The Packers didn't score 10.5 points in their first game. They scored 7. And you're going to make the Bears a 10.5-point dog to Green Bay?
Yeah,
that's... I know that Aaron Rodgers has owned the Chicago Bears, and I know that Green Bay historically sometimes has a bad game, and then they go home to Lambeau, and they come out and they light things up. Here's my question. Who is Aaron Rodgers lighting things up with?
Exactly. I can't name a single receiver on that core. Even that rookie that the Raiders traded their first pick with, they drafted, I can't remember his name.
Alan Lazard, it plays for Green Bay. I know his name. I know he's not a top 10, not a top 20, not a top 30, not a top 40 wide receiver in the NFL. Nobody's jumping up in fantasy football to grab Alan Lazard. I'll tell you that. So who he's throwing the ball to, I don't know. Green Bay's running game has never been very good. And their defense, frankly, looked a little overrated last week. And yet, again, it's Aaron Rodgers. They'll be fine. Just like people are saying with Tom Brady. Oh, it's Tom Brady. He'll be fine. This week, have you looked at the injury report for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Ooh, it's bad. Godwin's out again.
Yeah. So, Christian, go through that for us, would you?
I got to pull it up right now.
All right, pull it up and get in front of you. But it's horrible. It reads like half of an all-star team. You know what I mean? It's like, really? All those guys are on the injury report? And then Brady was complaining about getting banged around. Rocky, you're muted.
You're muted. I got it.
Rocky, you're muted.
Gave 3 picks last week. I picked Kansas City, as you know. But I also gave a couple guys the Buccaneers because I said they were going to use Leonard Fournette,
Rocky,
Lombardi, Leo a lot, and he did. And listen, they're going to have to run the ball again this week. Go ahead,
Rocky.
Yes, sir.
Dallas is ranked 31st in the NFL after week 1 in the FPI.
Yeah.
They're cooked.
Yeah.
Football Power Index, they're ranked 31st.
Loud, you're right. This is a terrible list. All right,
okay,
we got
go ahead. Go through it. Who's hurt?
Mike Evans, questionable. Levin Fournette, questionable. Russell Gage, questionable. Chris Godwin, out. Julio Jones, questionable. Zion McCollum, doubtful. Brashad Perlman, questionable. Donovan Smith, doubtful. Tristan Wirfs, questionable. That's about about a dozen players that might not play this week.
Those are all starters.
Those are all starters.
And here's the thing. They're all old.
Except for Mike Evans. Mike Evans is 28.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Mike Evans, one of the only guys on there that Rocky, you know what it's like to be old. When you get hurt,
I'm understanding.
It takes longer to get better.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
It takes longer to heal. A little longer to heal each year, yeah.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is one of the oldest teams in the NFL if you look at their roster ages. And so when those guys get hurt, they don't bounce right back because when you're in your 30s, you're not 21 anymore. You're not 18. It takes longer to heal. So that's one of the reasons why I'm stunned at this line. New Orleans Saints at home in the Dome, Tampa Bay, with that injury report and their sort of shoddy performance, although they won, they beat Dallas, but they didn't look great. Tampa Bay is a home dog. It's Tampa Bay -3 going into New Orleans. You're going to give me 3 points, and I get to take a healthy Tampa Bay team against a beat-up Bucs team that the Buccaneers have beaten the last 4 times they faced?
You mean the Saints? The Saints.
I'm sorry. Did I say Tampa Bay? Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
The Saints have beat
in
the
the regular
Bucs 4 in a
season.
row. Right.
Want to know in the playoffs?
Right. They're 4-0.
They have their number in the regular season.
And
I'm looking
you know how the Saints have done it? Rushing Tom Brady up the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Where is the offensive line? Hurt up the middle.
That line 2.5, Lou, not 3. 2.5.
Well, okay. So, being the smart better that I am, when I saw it at 3 on Monday, I took it.
Yeah.
So I got it at 3. You could always buy a half a point. You know, that's something a lot of people don't know. If you don't like the line that you're getting, you can buy points from the book. The line might go from -110 to -130. You might make less on the bet if you win. But I personally don't like ever being on the wrong side of the hook, that half point. Like, I don't like being -3.5, -7.5, -10.5. I always buy that half point down so that I don't lose on the hook and I at least get a push. But yeah, there are a ton of injuries on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Saints have had their number. I don't understand why the Saints are a home dog here, and I've got a sizable bet on the Saints plus 3.
Yeah. You know what? I was looking at that line and I thought about it. I thought how crazy it is for people, to bet against the Saints in Tampa, to bet against the Saints at home. And you're right, Loud. I'm sorry. They've had the Bucs number almost every game for the past 2 years, excluding that one game in the playoffs, because Tom Brady's just God in the playoffs.
And I know that Sean Payton is gone.
Yeah.
But the coach that now runs the team is Dennis Allen, who was the defensive coordinator for all those games.
Yeah.
So they didn't lose anything on defense against the Bucs.
And they've gained more on defense, bringing in Tyrann Mathieu this season. It's going to be very hard for the Bucs to win this game.
I have no confidence in the Bucs in this game. I love New Orleans plus 3. Another one I absolutely love, based on just how bad Dallas looked. The Bengals are minus a touchdown, -7 against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are starting Cooper Rush, who, by the way, doesn't look or sound like an NFL quarterback. He sounds and looks like a kid in a boy band. So Cooper Rush is going to have to lead the Dallas Cowboys onto the field, who looked awful. Mike McCarthy sucks as a coach. Just saying. And the Cowboys, I think the Bengals are going to pound the Cowboys at Jerry World. Rocky?
Yeah, I don't like giving up that many points. I think the Cowboys would have been favored if Dak Prescott hadn't gone down. But, Burrow turns it over a lot, man. He gets sacked a lot. It's going to be a defensive struggle. But I don't see Dallas winning another game ever until
Dak Prescott's back.
And even then, they look pretty crappy with him. So I don't think there's any hope for them. I'm sure the Bengals win the game probably handily. I'd really like to do a little rewind, though. You guys were just talking about the Bucs and the Saints, and I just would like to say one thing. You're both wrong.
Go ahead.
And you're going to take shorts on that bet. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. The Saints have beat the Bucs. They're 0-4 in regular season. And Tom Brady's sick of hearing it. He makes a statement on Sunday.
1 minute.
Going to paste that's my pick of the week, as a matter of fact. The Bucs are going to work the Saints, and it's going to be, Sean Payton's gone, Drew Brees is gone. They did it with the defense.
You and I, Rocky, steak dinner, your restaurant of choice, no points. I've got the Saints. You've got the Buccaneers.
Deal.
Yep. Straight up.
All right, we're on it.
Push.
Christian,
you
got to flip us out of KMET. Take us to YouTube and Parler.
All right, everyone. Thank you for everyone listening to KMET radio station. If you want to continue this other half hour, Steer the Line, go over to our Twitch, our YouTube. Look us up at Steer the Line. We're going to be all the way on till 6. Thank you guys very much, and I hope we have a good time. All right, Mr. Loud Esmond, I do have one question for you before we do put up a Saquami clip.
Yeah.
I have 2 files. Which one is it?
Oh, it's the longer one.
The longer one.
Yeah, we want to play the longer one. The 5 minute and something.
Cool, like go make a sandwich.
All right. Give me 1 second.
By the way, Lou, your clips look really good. I watched them all.
Oh, great.
They look great.
Thank you. And by the way, who do you like in Seattle and the 49ers if the Seahawks are catching 8.5.
Yeah, I don't think that's a big snake bite game. I don't like laying that many points to any NFL team. I wouldn't do it. I'll take the dog in that one, period, just because it's that many points.
I don't think Trey Lance can score very much.
No.
And so, I mean, all the Seahawks have to do is score like 10 or 14 points. I don't think the 49ers will score more than 21, 24 points in a game this season, as long as he's quarterback.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right. I'm
All right,
ready
here we
whenever
go.
you guys are.
Ready? Go ahead and roll it.
Loud Esmond here with the Snoqualmie Casino Sportsbook Weekend Outlook. Lots of action you can look at this weekend. Of course, baseball season is still going on. Soon we're going to be into the playoffs, and that is some exciting betting opportunities. But right now, everybody, as you can see, it's exciting about football. College football, NFL is where the action is right now. And some very surprising things, some interesting games to look at on both sides of the slate. The Golden Gophers of Minnesota are actually leading the NCAA all of college football in offense and defense. Now, it's only 2 games, and they haven't really played anybody, but they look really, really good. They get a really bad Colorado Buffaloes team, easy for me to say, coming in to face them this weekend in Minnesota. It's 27.5. Basically, it's a 4-touchdown spread with the Golden Gophers there. Interesting opportunity to look at. UConn, known as a basketball school, well, they go to the Big House and they go up against Michigan this weekend. Michigan is a prohibitive favorite. Catch this number. Wolverines minus 47.5. Wolverines minus 47.5. Now, they're rolling people and they're up to number 4 in the standings, but let's keep in mind they won by 44 and they won by 46. And I'm not sure that this UConn team is actually as bad as everybody says. They did pretty well the first week. An interesting number to look at. Air Force and Wyoming on Friday night. That one's going to be in Laramie. These games are generally close between these two teams. Of course, Air Force has looked great. They're rolling up an average of 500 yards on the ground. And Wyoming, well, they're not exactly a powerhouse football school, but these teams always seem to be close. This spread is somewhere between 14 and 17, depending on where you go. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish are really having a tough time of it this year, and their coach is already embattled. He's had 3 straight losses going back to the bowl game. That hasn't happened at Notre Dame in a very long time. Notre Dame fans don't put up with consistently losing, and now the Cal Bears, who really haven't been much of anything in football for a long, long time, come in to play Notre Dame at plus 12. Oklahoma State, the biggest favorite on the board this weekend. They are minus 57.5 when the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. Yes, the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. I'm not making this up. They actually exist. They are a SWAC team. Oklahoma State giving away the farm at minus 57.5. South Alabama comes in to face UCLA. UCLA, prohibitive favorite at minus 15.5. And then kind of a head scratcher to me, everybody's talking about USC being one of the top teams in the nation. They're only catching 10.5 with Fresno State. Again, some interesting college numbers to look at. Of course, the talk of the week here in the Pacific Northwest and at the closest sports book to Seattle is, of course, the Seahawks. Big win on Monday night. They took down Denver. Now, it took some of the most horrendous coaching decisions, time management at the end of a game that I've ever seen, but it happened. Oh, and Denver lost the ball twice inside the 1-yard line. So, are the Seahawks for real? Well, we hope so. And they're catching a big number, plus 8.5. Now, that's down from 10.5 against their division rival 49ers. The Niners really struggled on offense against Chicago. Of course, it was in a monsoon. But people are feeling good about the Seahawks. The Bears and the Packers both lost. I'm sorry. The Bears won last week. The Packers and the Bengals minus a touchdown or so. The Lions, great story. The Lions are favored in a football game for the first time in more than 20 games. That's almost 2 seasons that the Lions haven't been favored in a single football game. They are -1 with the Washington Commanders led by Carson Wentz coming to town. And then in a game that is going to be hard to have much of a feel on, but is important because if either of these teams goes to 0-2, they're both planning on being playoff teams. They're both going to be in trouble. The Raiders catching -5.5 with the Cardinals coming in to Vegas to face them. Again, all kinds of interesting action. There's almost 70 or 80 football games you could bet on this weekend, about 50 in college and 16 in the NFL because nobody's on their bye weeks yet. So in any case, all sorts of action to look on and bet on here at the Snoqualmie Casino Sportsbook. I'm Loud Esmond with your weekend betting outlook.
Right.
Wow.
So one of the
Notre Dame lost their quarterback. They really are having a tough time.
who?
Notre Dame.
They lost their quarterback. Where did they lose him?
He's out, from what I understand.
That might be a blessing.
Uh,
The kid just hasn't been very good, and frankly, Notre Dame would do better playing Cal this week. Cal sucks. Cal does not have the athletes to keep up with Notre Dame. If Notre Dame just runs the freaking ball and plays defense and doesn't turn it over, they can probably beat Cal. But if they get cute on offense and try to, toss the ball around and be, cute, I think they could choke away another game. By the way, Notre Dame hasn't lost 4 games in a row in like 30 years. So if they lose this game against Cal, this coach is in trouble, man. I mean, it's going to be buyer's remorse real fast. One of the most interesting NFL lines of the weekend is what I mentioned about the Lions. The Detroit Lions have not been favored in a game in 24 straight NFL games.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say 24 years. That's insane.
No. 24 games. So that's
About a season and a half.
All of last season. Imagine not being favored in a game an entire season. That's means you have to be one of the 2 or 3 worst teams in the league and then go back another half season before they were favored in a game. So I love Detroit, and this is one of these quirky things about betting numbers. The Detroit Lions cover the spread a lot. They never win.
No.
And cover.
They're a pest,
Doesn't
though.
happen.
They are a pest to play. But they're playing the Washington Commanders.
yeah, nobody wants to play it.
And
Lou,
they're
did
only
you-
-1, which means it's basically a pick 'em. So,
Yeah.
all
Did
right,
you watch
Rocky.
the game? Did
I'm
you
sorry?
see the game last week?
Yeah, they came back great. I think they have a great
The
offense. I've been
Lions
saying
were-
I like them since the beginning of
They are ferocious, man. They're playing games they're not supposed to win, and they don't care. They didn't
They
get
have
the memo.
grit.
They don't have a
They're brick, they're
franchise.
knee
quarterback.
biters.
They don't have a franchise. They don't have
Remember-
anything.
I
don't
love their
care.
coach. I
And
love
by
their
the way,
coach.
yeah, if they're going to win any games, if they're going to be snake bite anybody, why not the Commanders? I like them this week.
Yeah,
Why
I do
not?
too.
I mean,
I
why
like
not the
I like
Commanders?
Detroit this game a lot.
It was so
Washington, right?
funny. I did a show earlier this week for the Winners and Winers Network, and I was on there with 2 of the hottest sports handicappers in the country, Scott Steen and David Delano. David Delano has some ridiculous number going right now. He's like 80% picking games, and he does basketball, he does baseball, he does football. It's crazy how good he's doing. Scott Steen is one of the hottest handicappers also over at Winners and Winers and a longtime handicapper. And all of us were completely stymied on the Detroit game. None of us wanted to pick the Lions because I know it's -1 and they're at home and it's the Commanders and the Commanders stink, but If the Lions were a dog, we were all saying, if you were giving the Lions 3 points, if you were giving the Lions 2 points, we'd pick them. But I have no confidence that they're going to win and cover is the problem.
What's the spread? How much do they have to win by to cover the spread?
-1.
So they have to win by at least 1 point.
They have to, well,
2
if they win by 1 point, you get a push. If they win by more than 1, you win your bet.
Yeah. I don't know. I trust the Lions to cover that spread, man. I really do. I have a feel. I don't know. I don't have any stats backing it up. I don't have any numbers, nothing behind it. I just have that feeling that the Lions are going to win this game and cover the spread.
I'll tell you, one thing I love to hear about, people that are giving me advice on betting is I don't have any numbers or any reason logically why I'm going to pick this game, but I just have this feeling. I'm sorry. I'm just making fun, Christian, all in good fun. Rocky, you're muted. Come in and save your son.
Yeah, the bankruptcy rolls are full of people who bet on feelings and guts and instinct. I love my team.
I flipped a coin, and it says.
Yeah, well, there you go. At least you have a shot. Flip a coin is better than with your gut. You know what I mean? You have a shot.
All right, I'm going to lay out an actual parlay card that I have bet, and I want to get your input on what you think. The Marshall Thundering Herd against the Bowling Green, -16.5. Cincinnati Bengals, -7.5 in Dallas. And the Saints +3. I know what Rocky's going to say already. That $50 bet would pay me back $434 on a 3-team parlay. Christian, I know you're not going to know anything about Marshall. Got it.
Yeah, I was about to say I have nothing on that. I got you with Cincinnati and Dallas. They're going to cover that spread easily, and I do believe Tampa Bay is going to lose that game just because of how injury riddled they're going to be this week. And
you know what? Tampa Bay might win, but they can win by 2 or 1. That's fine. Rocky?
Actually, I like the Marshall bet. The only one I like. I think you lose the other 2. I think the Bengals win the game by a field goal or less than 7.5. It's like a 7.5 point spread. I don't think they.
Should I just burn this ticket now?
Yeah, you might as well. Listen, Cincinnati turns the ball over. They get sacked. The Cowboys' defense is going to keep them close, but they're not going to. It's going to be a super low scoring game.
How many points is Dallas going to score? How many points is Dallas going to score with Cooper Rush at quarterback?
Yeah.
3?
There you go.
If you can hand off to Zeke, everybody's going to
run the ball. Everybody's going to run the ball, and they may keep it close.
Yeah, it's going to be Joe Mixon versus Ezekiel Elliott.
9 people in the box every time Dallas runs the ball, which means they can't run the ball.
Right.
And Cincinnati's going to know that. They're going to know the game plan of Mike McCarthy, who's a shitty coach. Oh, did I say that? I did.
Yes, you did.
He's going to run the ball and protect his quarterback. So Cincinnati is just going to load the box with 8 or 9 guys and say, go ahead, run the ball. Beat us passing. He can't do it. Joe Burrow's a stud. I cannot agree with you on that game. Sorry. Okay.
And listen, from your lips to God's ears, I hope they blow them out. I hate the Cowboys.
Yeah, I do.
By the way, why do you love the Marshall bet so much?
I like Marshall. I just think they're a really good program. I think they have a great culture, a winning culture, winning program. Think of all the guys.
Just are kissing Matthew McConaughey's ass.
Bull crap. They got some great players came out of Marshall, man. They got a great program.
I love Matthew McConaughey, but that's not a very good
I didn't see the movie.
We Are Marshall is not. I didn't see the movie.
Never seen it.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Now, one thing back to teams that had a problem last week. I'm sorry. Rocky had 2 teams that he want to talk about himself. Rocky?
No, not really. What are we talking about? Teams that underachieved from the last show?
last week.
Oh, okay. Well, let's start with the Rams. The Rams underachieved for one really good reason. For some unknown reason, Matthew Stafford had more interceptions than he had targets to minority receivers.
This was,
and if that's not a recipe for getting gas, I don't know what it is, man. He threw one target to Allen Robinson, 1 target to Tutu Atwell. The rest of it was all to Scroudix and he
Higbee
tried to
and Cooper Kupp.
He did a Derek Carr. He tried to make them beat Cooper Kupp, beat Cooper Kupp, and they did. And that just was not a recipe for
just
success
to do
at
a
all.
little live in-game reporting. I posted that I loved Air Force and Wyoming over 46.5 tonight, and right now it's 3-0 midway through the second quarter. So might have missed that one just a bit outside.
A little bit.
Just a bit outside. Fortunately, I also told people to take Wyoming plus the 17, which was way too many. I know the Air Force team looks great, but they're not that good. And Wyoming and Air Force, when they play, it's always close. Always close, and this game's being played in Laramie. So I think I'm going to miss the over, but I'll get it on the other one. Okay, let's talk about a teaser bet I placed. Teaser bet plus 7 points on the following teams. Houston Texans plus 17 at Denver Broncos. Rocky. 17 points.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
Actually, the Houston quarterback had a couple of moments in that game last week. He didn't look that bad.
I like Lovie Smith as a coach, man.
Yeah.
His team, they're going to play for him.
Yeah, he didn't look that bad. I don't know anybody who can give anybody 17 points.
Did you see a worse coach in the NFL last week than Denver's head coach?
No, that call with the kick was atrocious. It's Davis Mills. Davis Mills.
Right.
Davis Mills. He didn't. Yeah. See, nobody even knows it.
Yeah.
He didn't look that bad.
He didn't at all.
Let me remind everybody, just because people forget, Loud Esmond said, "Hey, let's pump the brakes on the Denver Broncos to the Super Bowl thing."
Yeah.
Because the first-year head coach,
terrible,
first-year offensive coordinator, with a first-year defensive coordinator.
And wait, time out. Let's just remember who called Seattle winning that game before the season even started, a whole month. I got the wrong quarterback, but the right score.
Right, but hey,
I was calling Seattle to win, and then I got swayed like an idiot. I've got to, you know what? When you have like Christian says, when you have a gut instinct about a game,
follow your heart. Never go wrong.
Got to stick with it, man. Screw the numbers.
But
I'm an analytics guy too.
Their head coach really
with feeling. Yeah, it's funny. All right, I'm sorry. Houston Texans plus 17 at Mile High at Denver. Rocky, yes or no?
Houston.
Christian.
Houston, yeah. 17 points is way too much.
Seattle Seahawks plus 15.5 at the 49ers. Christian.
I got Seattle.
Rocky.
Yeah. I'll take anybody with 2 touchdowns against the 49ers.
Buffalo Bills -3 at the Titans on Monday night. Christian.
Only 3?
Bills. Yeah, the Buffalo Bills.
-3.
It went to 3?
No, yeah. I've got I'm going through a 7-team, 7-point teaser bet that I placed.
Oh,
so
okay.
I got 7
teaser.
points.
Now I feel you. Okay, okay. I like it. Yes.
Saints plus 10 at home, Christian.
Plus 10? No.
Saints plus 10.
Yeah, with the Buccaneers.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I got the Saints. Rocky?
Saints get 10 points?
Yeah, I mean, on a teaser bet,
I think the Bucs win that game, but not by 10 points. Well,
Pittsburgh Steelers plus 9 with the Patriots coming in with a sick and back-injured quarterback.
Yeah, I got Steelers plus 9, definitely. Rocky?
I think the Steelers win that game outright.
I do too.
Yeah,
but with TJ Watt out,
Steelers in that game, I think everybody in the league, especially in that division, is going to feast on the rotten corpse of the Patriots. What's left of them?
Yeah.
Dust.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions, give them 7 points, and it's plus 5.5. Lions at home. Christian.
Yeah, I got the Lions winning that game definitely, and they'll definitely score over 5.5.
Rocky.
They're getting 5.5.
Now
I like it.
On a teaser bet.
On a teaser. Now I like it.
Okay. Cincinnati Bengals minus a half point against the Dallas Cowboys, which just means the Bengals just have to win the game.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. Great. Perfect.
So I'm going to win a lot of money.
Well, you know what? You could, but if you tease just two of those teams, just pick two of them. I think the Bengals. You know, if they picked a couple of teams, I don't know about teasing them all, man. There's going to be somebody going to get snake bit somewhere, right?
Yeah, there's going to be. Well,
yeah, but I have so many points. I mean, okay, hang on. Let's go back through this. Texans plus 17 at Denver. Seahawks plus 15.5 at San Francisco. Buffalo minus 3. Saints plus 10. Steelers plus 9. Lions plus 5.5. Bengals pick to win over Dallas. I don't see where I lose any of those.
I don't either, but that's why they play the game, man. I mean, somebody's going to get snake bit somewhere.
There's always one underdog every week, every given Sunday.
Crazy outcome. There's always also one blowout. There's one mismatch every week. The trick is to find it.
Now, here's an interesting card. I did this just for fun. I put $10 down on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 team parlay. Houston Texans plus 10. Seahawks plus 8.5. Bills minus 9.5. Saints plus 3. Steelers plus 2. Lions minus 1. Bengals minus 7. $10 bet would pay me back $887.55.
Right.
That's a good payback.
The chances of hitting it, very low. But it's really fun. I mean,
really fun. It's $10.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to say to people who are worried about sports betting. Man, put $10 down on a 6-team parlay. Put $20 down on a 5-team parlay. Put $50. And, man, if you hit, and I've seen it, I saw an 18-team parlay for $15 hit in Vegas and pay the guy back $55,000.
Yeah, the problem with those, if you lose it in the first game, it's no fun. But if it's if you get a call, if you get a couple of calls, like wow, you won 3 or 4 of them. You know?
Could you imagine if you had hit 14 out of the 15, and the last game is like the Monday Night Football game? Oh my God, you would be losing your mind on every play.
Can we talk about how bad that last call on the Denver-Seattle game was?
Yeah, that was the coach.
Everybody else has talked about it. Why not us? Go ahead.
It is insane. Okay, statistically, you guys know me. I am a numbers guy all the way. I'm a statistical analysis major in college. Except for the Lions. Except for the Lions. The Lions have a special place in my heart. But
because of Jared Goff.
Statistically, you have a higher probability of passing 5 yards with Russell Wilson than kicking a 64-yard field goal with a guy who's never made
passing a kidney stone.
Yeah, this kicker's never made a field goal past 60 yards. What do you think he's gonna do?
It was a terrible
64
call.
Outside of I almost said Coors Field. Outside Denver's Broncos.
What is absolutely inexplicable is you've got a minute left. You have 3 timeouts.
And you call
$250 million.
Yes,
exactly.
That's it.
And you sit there. I mean,
if you're going to pay the guy like that, use it. Let him earn his money.
What that tells me is he vapor locked. That coach on the sidelines, he melted down mentally in the moment. He couldn't meet it. He was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what should I? And all he had to do was, you know what? You've got 3. Call a timeout.
He made Pete Carroll look like a genius in 2022. Come on.
Yeah, dude.
That's terrible. You pay a guy $245 million. You need to get 5 yards. You have about a minute left. You let the clock run down to 20 seconds. Let your kicker, who's never kicked 60-plus yard field goal at 64, in an away stadium to win the game. That's terrible. That's terrible. That is the stupidest decision I've ever seen in my life.
It's honestly one of the worst Rocky, you and I are old.
Yes, sir.
Christian's very young.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of football. I can't remember a worse coaching moment ever.
Yeah, you know what? One doesn't come to mind.
And
I
I'm
know
old.
there are some. I know there are some because I know there's been a lot of times I went, stupid coach. But that was about one of the worst. Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt.
That is, I can't think. It's
No, what I
that-
don't
it was
understand,
week
what I
one.
don't understand is why Russell Wilson, standing there on the field watching the time wind down, didn't take control of the situation himself
Yeah.
and go time out.
Yeah, come on, for the money he's getting, he can override the coach when he's supposed
Yes.
to. Tom Brady
Definitely.
does it.
Especially a first-year coach.
You know what? By the way, I have this recording that I captured, and I've been sent by somebody from what was going into Russell Wilson's ear during that 40 seconds. Let me hang on. I got to pull it up just a second. It's here we go. It's
Okay, while we're waiting for that.
here it is. No, I've got it.
You got it?
It's it was the Charlie Brown teacher
Yeah.
in his ear. That's all he was hearing because the coach on the sidelines was doing this.
Yeah, he froze.
Yeah.
He froze.
He froze. No, it's
Charlie
I
that.
don't
Brown
want
had
that
no
guy.
chance
I
of
don't want
kicking
that
that
guy as an
football.
airline pilot. I don't want him as an airline pilot
No.
on a plane that I'm on. Okay.
No, but
Oh,
it's
wait,
that
we're too
call
low, we're
and
too low.
throwing
What
it
do we
on
do?
first down.
Oh.
That call and throwing it on first down when Malcolm Butler intercepted it in the Super Bowl. Those are the two worst calls in football, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Pete Wilson. And the ironic thing is, Pete Wilson didn't want the running back Marshawn Lynch to be
Carr.
like the hero of the game. He wanted it to be Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
and he effed it up because
Yeah.
of that. And then this other coach against Pete
Didn't
Carroll
want Russell
does
Wilson
the
to
same
be.
thing.
That
It's
is,
just crazy.
yeah,
man.
man. That is the worst football. I'm gonna say it again. It is the worst call I've ever seen from a coach in football.
All right. My actual tickets this weekend, the single games, Marshall Thundering Herd minus 16.5. Connecticut plus 47.5 against Michigan. Saints plus 3. Seahawks plus 8.5. Bengals minus 7. Those are my single game tickets that I'm betting on this weekend. Rocky.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to just I like the Minnesota Vikings a little bit in that game, but I really think I'm just going to go with Tom Brady. He's 0 wins and 4 losses against the Saints in the regular season. I think it's a statement game, even though they got a lot of injuries. I don't see Tom Brady going in there and losing to the Saints again.
Yeah.
That's my pick. If you
Well-
must bet the Vikings, bet the Vikings.
It's gonna be interesting. There's week 1 shenanigans, and then
Yeah.
what do we find out week 2? Which teams are actually really better than we think? I think there are some teams that are better than we think, and I think there are some teams that are worse than we think because I have a gut feeling. Just letting you know.
And what game
Yes,
to
sir.
watch this week coming up that I think is just going to be an insane game? Ravens versus Dolphins in Baltimore. I think Lamar's
Yeah,
going to
go
go
figure.
off. I think Tua's just going to step up and throw to
Tilapia.
Tyreek. Tua Tilapia, yes. He's going to step up and be that. We got about
Tyreek
2.
Hill I have on my fantasy football team, so I hope Tua
Start it, baby.
throws him a few bones here and there, if you know what I'm saying.
All right, we got about a minute left. Anything else you guys want to say before we head out?
I love the Lions. I just can't bet them.
Yeah,
Unless
I
you
gave
give
up.
me points.
There only 3 people PM'd me for picks beside, so I went 3 for 3. But this week, I'm just gonna those 2 games. I like
My
the Bucs-
college lock is Marshall minus 16.5. My NFL lock, Bengals minus 7.5 at Dallas. Dallas can't score.
Buccaneers big bet. Minnesota Vikings. I like them also.
Christian, do you have a gut feeling about any of them?
Christian, any gut feelings?
Any gut feelings?
No. Don't trust my
All
gut
I know
feelings.
is Christian's gut feeling is like, gas station.
Oh, the Raiders. By the way, the Raiders are going to get well play the Cardinals. Raiders are going to kill the Cardinals.
I hope the Raiders get well.
Destroy. They're going to destroy the Cardinals.
I cannot bet the Raiders or Notre Dame or Washington.
Forgot all about that game. The Raiders are going to destroy the Cardinals.
Never bet your fandom and never bet anti for your fandom. Just stay away.
No, and also bet the Saints against the Bucks. I think they're going to cover that spread. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another segment of Steer the Line. I'm Christian Giordani, Loud Esmond, Rocky Giordani. Go
football.
Rams.
Go Raiders. I was going to say go Raiders, go Rams, go football. Welcome to week 2 of the NFL season.
Yeah.
So fun. Thanks, guys.
Next Friday, fellas.
Thanks.
You're going to owe me a steak dinner, Rock.
Yes, sir. And I